blazing fire. So we're discussing now in this Vrindavan Mahimamrita, we're hearing about the icebergs on the ocean of devotion, the obstacles of man and woman which are formidable for the appropriate genders. Now, chapter 13, verse 43, page 460. Santa swantam avehi dehi vanchanam dehi shvaho kamani rupagno na paritangavan nipatre chakshu pramarad api adyasshvo na patish yato sya vapusha poshaya dosha kare Kurya sangam abhanga vasaniyamo vrindavane griyatam. Thinking that your end has come, you should make your final will. O sinful people, do not, out of madness, lay your eyes or put your eyes in a blazing fire of women's beauty, as flies rush into a blazing fire. Do not commit any sinful activity simply to maintain your perishable material body. Right now, make a firm resolution to reside in Vrindavan. So he makes so many analogies he brings up in these verses, which are very graphic and easy to see. Anyone who's been in the world for a while has often seen the phenomenon of flies and moths and other characters, little insect flying creatures, fly into a fire and kill themselves. Mayavadi mergers. They merge into the desk lamp. They fly into the light and just embrace the light and give up their individual identity. You see, they go, and that's that. And you're not. What can you do? You're simply reading Bhagavad Gita, and you have to see in the night with the desk lamp, and they knock off that way. Some people make deliberate arrangements to annihilate those creatures, but that's sinful, of course. In restaurants and sweet shops, they have all these high voltage lights to kill all the living entities. So one can only imagine that they will become Mr. Agarwal's sweet shop. He will become a fly in his next life and fly into some other Mr. Agarwal's sweet shop, insect destroying light, and sizzle his wings off as he attempts to land on the burfi. I get a free bite of burfi, and then next thing he knows it, he's melted in that 5,000 watt blue light. You ever see those lights? Horrible, disgusting slaughterhouses for living entities. That's the keynote in modern world: slaughter everything. Atmaha, slaughter the self. And Ishopanishad talks about killers of the self. Killers of the self. So this is a big popular feature of Kali Yuga: slaughtering the innocent living entities, the insects, the cows, the birds, the chickens, the goats, the beasts, the fish, everything they can find, and slaughter them. And if they're in the way, slaughter them. If they taste good, slaughter them. Somehow slaughter them. And in the course of all this slaughtering activities, then they slaughter them their very selves. They slaughter the opportunity to realize God. And they slaughter the opportunity to get another human birth. You slaughter and become slaughtered. As simple as that. So he's comparing here to the uncontrolled eyes, to foolish flies and moths. They cannot control their desire for rupam. They see the form of the fire and their minds become tantalized. And they become hypnotized with attraction. Their minds become tantalized and become hypnotized with attraction. Then they take a sankalpa and fly full speed into that fire because of their attraction. And they get consumed by the blazing rays of the fire. So the eyes are like, this is called destruction by rupam. Different living entities find their demise by losing the control of one of their senses. So honeybees, they lose their lives because of their desire for fragrance. So they love the fragrance of the flowers. They fly into the flowers, intoxicated by the attractive fragrance, and they start drinking the nectar. So it's gandha that traps the honeybee. Gandha means fragrance, aroma. So now the sun sets and then the petals of the lotus close very tightly at sunset. And that honeybee oftentimes becomes suffocated in there, enwrapped in the arms of the petal-like arms of the lotus. That honeybee dies. When a lotus opens in the morning, there's one dead honeybee lying there. So this is called a living entity who loses his body due to uncontrolled fragrance, gandha. And then rupam is the moth and the fly who flies into the fire. And then the shabda, one who cannot control sound, is the deer in the forest. He has very long, thin ears. Very long, thin ears with very sensitive eardrums. The deer protects himself in the nature by his hearing ability. That's how he preserves himself, because he is the predators. He is a prey for the predators. So in order to flee and escape, he has to have very good defensive mechanisms to recognize the movements of the predator, the footprints and breathing and of the predator. Any vibration from the tiger or lion he must perceive with his ears, then flee, because he can't fight. So his ears are very good. But a problem with those wonderful ears that the deer has is he becomes enchanted by the music of a flute. He's subjected to enchantment. So when the hunter, knowing this weakness, the hunter knows the weakness of the deer. This is the weakness. I can capture and kill this deer and win the trophy of his horns and head and flesh, venison, by playing a flute. So if you can't play one, then you bring a tape player with a speaker. And you play a tape of flute with a speaker aimed at the forest. Then hearing that shabda, the deer come running out. They can't control themselves. And then, boom, 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 one dead deer tied onto the front of your Jeep. You take out of the forest to the toxicologists, whatever they call it. And they stuff him and preserve him. Put him on your wall, the trophy. Slaughtered deer. And taste, one who cannot control his taste, the living entity who cannot control his taste is the fish. The machli. Machli has much desire to taste. So he sees a little fly on a hook, or sees some worm, and he thinks, wow, what a beautiful piece of food. What a beautiful meal that is. And his mother says, no, that's dangerous. Don't go there. No, it looks too good. See how it's wiggling and moving around here and there. It looks really fresh and tasty. Really, really nice. So then, because he can't control his sense of taste, he runs to that worm which is hidden in front. A hook is hidden inside. Then he opens his mouth, chomp, takes a big bite, and as soon as he bites that hook, choop, he's yanked out of the water and thrown into the frying pan. And he sizzles in a frying pan, dead. So this is the problem. So he's saying that, listen, don't become mad. These are all examples of madness, living entities, jivas who have gone mad. The deer went mad because he couldn't control the flute. And the moth and fly went mad because they couldn't control their eyes and the desire for rupam, beautiful, tantalizing, hypnotic rupams lose their life, perishing in the fire. And a lowly fish could not control his desire to taste. Well, there's so many things to eat in the water, so many insects and grasses and bugs and all these things floating around in the water. There's so many underwater bugs and everything is there. But then they always want more. So this is a madness. When one wants more and more, it's a type of madness. So he's warning, he says, don't be mad and look at a woman. A woman is like a blazing fire which spells your demise. So basically he's saying rupam is dangerous. But unfortunately, when a living entity gets a human body as a human man or human woman, all the senses are powerful. The desire to enjoy rupam is powerful. The desire to enjoy gandha, fragrance, is powerful. The desire to taste varieties of salty, sweet, pungent, sour, astringent. This what's it called? Taste. It's called rasa. Is very powerful. And then the desire for sound. Everything is very powerful. Form, rupam, and sound, and smell, and taste, and touch. Touch, sparsha. Desire to touch the soft body. A man wants to touch the soft body of a woman, and a woman wants to touch the firm, strong, muscular body of a man, or the broad shoulders, or whatever. Wrap her arms around his powerful form. So this is the sense of touch has become uncontrolled. And the elephant, that's how they catch the elephant. Because he so much likes to touch his Padmini, female elephant. So they dig a big hole in the forest. Big hole, not a big problem, big hole. Then put some very thin bamboo poles over the hole. And all kinds of banana leaves over the hole. Then cover the hole with dirt. Cover the leaves, the leaf roof. All kinds of dirt and plants, and then some leaves here and there, and it's called camouflage the hole. And it looks like part of the forest. And when the male bull elephant sees the Padmini, female elephant, then he's not paying attention too much to where he's going. And just like in America, there's something called rubbernecking. Rubbernecking is when they give news on the news about the freeways in America. The highways, Los Angeles freeway, etc. They're so jam-packed that they have news reports about the freeway condition. Right now, on Main Street, be careful, there's bumper-to-bumper traffic. Don't go out right now, wait for an hour, it's rush hour. They give news on the radio. So you're on the car and listen to the radio, now I better not go on that road, it's all jammed up. I'll go side road, alternative route. So they say bumper-to-bumper traffic, which means, obviously, cars, there's no space. Then they say, on the main road along the ocean, go on some other road because there's lots of rubbernecking going on. And rubbernecking means that the guy is driving the car, but he's looking out the window at the girls coming off the beach in their bikinis, in their bathing suits. So he's twisting his neck like this, called rubbernecking. He's going like this, stretching, and he's not looking where he's going, and he's crashing into the car and driving off here and there. So that's called rubbernecking. America has all these funny perversions and terms to describe the perversions. Rubbernecking. He's going this way. That his neck is stretched, trying to stretch his neck. So in other words, the point is, the story, beside the humor, is that he's not paying attention to where he's driving. So as he's rubbernecking, or googling, or oogling, or looking at some pretty girl, he crashes into the car in front of him, which may even be a police car. And then he's really in big trouble. Similarly, now back to the jungle. The elephant, when he's rubbernecking, he's so busy. He's so busy looking at the female elephant that he's not paying attention to the booby trap. They call it booby trap. This hidden hole in this camouflage pit in the forest floor. So he says, wow, look at that, beautiful, whatever, elephant. So he starts running after her. And he runs across those skinny little bamboo poles and that little makeshift roof of that big hole, and boom, he falls right through and goes down 10 feet And elephants can't jump like a dog. They're stuck. He's just there like, uh-oh, what now? And that's that. Then they come with a crane, pull him out, put him on a truck, take him off, send him to America for the zoo. That's the end of the elephant. Or they kill him and take his ivory tusk or whatever to make your ivory furniture or whatever. Another slaughtering program. So this is the danger of the sense of touch, sparsha. So here he's emphasizing, be careful about rupam. Rupam, you can perish, lose your life just by rupam, by rubbernecking. You're walking around Delhi rubbernecking, or Bombay, stretching your neck, looking out of madness. If you put your eyes in other words, the woman is a blazing fire. Her rupam, that means Sri Rupam. Sri Rupam, her beautiful, shapely, attractive form, is actually a covered blazing fire. It's a blazing fire. And your wandering, uncontrolled eyes which are tantalized by that seductive form, an attractive, alluring form of woman, they become hypnotized. And they fly out of your head like crazy bees, crazy flies and moths. Your eyes fly out of your head and they get stuck on the form of that woman and your wings get singed off and you're burned up, you're dead. So don't commit any sinful activity just to maintain your perishable body. Make a firm resolution now to reside in Vrindavan. Thinking that your end has come, you should make your final will. I mean, these are very serious verses, although we're making some little joke on the side here, because it's a little hard to swallow the seriousness. He's talking about you're going to die. You're going to die, you fool. Death is on your doorstep. If you have a door, you have a doorstep. Everybody has a door. Car door, house door. And its phrase is, death is on your doorstep. Doorstep is a little step before you enter the door. No one else has a door in the middle of the space or some step, which you step on, and through the door. Doorstep. Death is there on the doorstep of everyone's door. Death is there on the doorstep of everyone's door. So chant some more, for death no more. That's a rehashing of an old one. At any rate, the point is that he's telling you, look, think your end has come, but we never think we'll die. Make your will. And don't, out of madness, now don't waste your eyes, whether you're a man or woman, women gazing at men, or that's the man is a blazing fire for woman. Make a resolution to live in Vrindavan. You can read another translation in this verse. Make a will, you're going to die. Control your senses. Be careful of Sri Rupam, or Admi Rupam, form of woman, form of man. Control yourself, forget all that. Make a resolution, live in Vrindavan. Whether you live here or die here, you'll be successful. Just control your eyes. Contemplation of the objects of the senses, one develops attachment. So the contemplation begins with the eyes. That's why he's addressing Rupam. If you can't see, it's pretty hard to get attracted to an object. It's very hard to get attracted to an object which you can't see. So imagine. Sometimes I thought, because oftentimes we see blind people in India more so than other countries, because here reality is raw. In India, reality is raw and it's on the street in front of your face everywhere. In American Western countries, reality is sterilized. It's all hidden behind covers. Old people are put in an old age home. Blind people are put in a blind man's home. Crippled people are put in retarded people are put in a retarded home. Eunuchs and imbeciles are put in an imbecile. You don't see them. You just don't see them. But they're there. They have blind people's homes. In Berkeley, they have a whole school for the blind. They all live there. There's 500 blind people. But in India, they don't have schools. They don't have blind people's homes. And right in our street, there's 2 retarded kids. So you see retarded kids every day. You see blind people. You see reality as it is. India. So it's an eye-opener, as they say. It's a brain opener. And if you have a brain, you should think about, wait a minute, what about, what's the situation here? Know that your end has come. Say something. Don't let your eyes madly fall like moths into the blazing fire of woman's beauty. Today or tomorrow your body will drop. Why struggle so hard to maintain it? Give up the company of worldly men and always stay in Vrindavan. It's a more nicer phrased verse, more exact grammar. Both of them have their virtues. The first translation is a little more poetic. And the second one we read is more grammatically, logically correct. I rather like this one, because this idea is not even there about the will. Thinking that your end has come, you should make your final will. O sinful people, do not out of madness put your eyes in the blazing fire of women's beauty, as flies rush into a blazing fire. That's a rather juicy verse. Very sober. We went from the humor of Gaur Leela with the dacoits to some hard mountain climbing, rappelling of the Himalayas, or one wrong step can mean the tumbling down to the valley below and your unfortunate death when rappelling. Rappelling means mountain climbing. Going up the north face of the mountain, straight up the rocks, special boots and ropes and pickaxes you throw up and then pull yourself up. You ever done that, rappelling? Mountain climbing? It's serious stuff. There's a lot of ways to forget Krishna out there, that's for sure. Seems to be more ways to forget Krishna. There's thousands and millions of ways to forget Krishna being offered by the illusory energy. But Krishna only offers one way to remember him. That's the funny thing. It seems that if people were intelligent, they would go for the easy way. It's easy to remember Krishna. There's only one way to do it. Why are you trying to forget Krishna? There's a million different ways to do it. How do you know which way to choose each day? We can forget Krishna. Well, yesterday we forgot Krishna this way. Let's forget Krishna this way, another way today. So Maya keeps offering, she creates newer and newer ways to forget Krishna. It was sledding and skiing, and then it became bobsledding, and then it became ski-doos or something. Snowboarding, and it was surfing, and then it was windsurfing, and then it's kite surfing, kite windsurfing, or I don't know, fly up in the sky half the time on the back. Parasurfing. And you know more about these things. And my day was just you get on a piece of board and you ride the waves. And then somebody stuck a sail on it and made windsurfing, where you catch a wave and blow off the back and sail a bit and jump back in or whatever. I never did. Then they have, now it's you have a surfboard, then you go behind a speedboat, and then you have like a kite and you fly in the air and they come down and surf. Isn't it something like that? What is it? I don't know. The point is that I'm only imagining what it is, but the point is that there's unlimited ways to forget Krishna, the material energy. There's only one way to remember him. And what is that way? Harinam, Harinam, Harinam eva kevalam, kalo anasteva, 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 gatir anyata. Gatir, this smarna gati anyata. Smarna gati anyata. The path of remembrance is the only way to, it's the only way to remember Krishna. Smarna gati, the path of remembrance is only by Harinam. Anyata, there's no other way. There's only one way to remember Krishna. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. There's no other way. Text, what did I say, 47? What is it? 47. Etat kutsitam asti mams rachitam vin mutra puyadibi purna drishtiminastam indriya ganamardena nityarditam adi vyadi shatabi bhuttam anisham kamadi dahakulam deham tishto jattu vahari rasais tam nanda vrindavane. Hari ras tam nanda vrindavan deham tishtato jattu va hariras tam nanda vrindavane. This material body is made of abominable elements, bones and flesh, and filled with stool, urine, and pus. It is destined to perish one day. Furthermore, this body is always disturbed by the senses, and this body is constantly afflicted by thousands of diseases and miseries. And it is bewildered by the pangs of lusty desires. Therefore, whether this body remains or not, you should certainly enjoy the ecstatic bliss derived from Sri Hari's love in Vrindavan. Hariras, that's the translation of Hariras Tvam Nanda Vrindavan. Nanda, sometimes Vrindavan is called Nanda Gokul. Nanda Gokul, that Gokul, that place of Nanda Maharaj, or Nanda Vrindavan, the place of Nanda Nandan and Nanda Maharaj. Hariras, Tishtatu, Deham Tishtatu. Kamadi, Dahakulam. Beginning with Kam, Dahakulam. So much variety. He's saying that this body should become firmly fixed in Nanda Vrindavan. Deham Tishtato, Nanda Vrindavan. Because if you fix this body, the body means the body and the mind. When they say Deham Tishtato, Deham Tishtatu, Hariras Tvam Nanda Vrindavan. When the acharyas say body, it doesn't mean the bones and skin and flesh. It means the Shukshma Sharir and Linga Sharir. Sharir means body. Deha means body. So the subtle Deha and the gross body and the subtle body means that Deham Tishtatu, Nanda Vrindavan, means that we should situate our body and mind in Vrindavan. And then we can relish, Tvam Hari Ras, we can relish the rasa of Hari Bhakti in Vrindavan. And another translation for that 47. Let this wretched body of bones, flesh, stool, urine, and pus, which is ultimately destined to be destroyed and continually pressed by the senses, which is overcome by hundreds of physical and mental troubles, and which continually burns in the flames of lust, either stay or go. You simply please enjoy the nectar of Lord Hari in Vrindavan. Hari Ras. In other words, forget about the body. Don't give it any mind. Don't pay attention. It will come or go. Disease will come, and this will come, and that will come. So many things. We see that, and okay, that's going to go on its own. Our Shubha karma will bring us good times, and Ashubh karma will bring us suffering and bad times. Our Papa karma and Punya karma. Papa fal and Punya fal. Never mind. Just stay in Vrindavan. Hari Ras. Don't put energy, as we say, don't put energy into your body. Put energy into your bhajan. Because the body is dead. Without the soul, the body is dead. So what? You don't have to put life into, you don't have to put your energy into your body. It's already there. Your body has its own energy and its own life. Our conscious energy, conscious direction, we should direct our energy consciously by our choice and will into our bhajan. We will live or die. It will happen. The same discussion is there in 7th Canto of Bhagavatam by Prahlad Maharaj. He said, everyone's happiness and distress is already determined. You can't do anything to improve it or increase it. Do bhajan. Komarat achrat pragyo dharman bhagavatam iha. He said from the very earliest of life, Komarat achrat pragyo dharman bhagavatam iha. We should begin dharma, bhagavat dharma. Komarat acharet. Achara means behavior. A Balakumar, a young boy like me, Prahlad, at the age of 3, 4, or 5, he should begin practicing Bhagavad Dharma. This is the teachings in Prahlad Shiksha, 7th Canto Bhagavatam. So Prahlad is saying the same thing. The body will come or go. These sufferings are there. So our well-wisher, Prabhupada Saraswati, is saying, bewilderment by lust, disease, pains, it all comes. Don't pay attention to it. It's not you. We're not the body, we're not the lust, we're not the disease, we're not the pains, we're not the bones. We're the eternal Atma. And we're meant to eternally love the Supreme Atma, Sri Krishna. And this is the place, Nanda Vrindavan, to love Krishna with Hari Ras. There's another verse we can look at. This is verse 48. Next one. Adya Shwa Prapatishyatosya Baranam Vin Bhandakashyacharan. Ha ha mudha maha vinashtim ayase Shri Sanginam Sangata Shodha Narakayantaha Katinava Hantanu Matrasaha Kim Vrindavana Vasa Bhashana Mahanandaya Mandayase. O fools, Mandas, when you know that today or tomorrow this body will be finished. Oh, you fool, why are you ruining yourself by enjoying this body? Simply a bag of stool. And why are you associating with people who are fond of women or men? Alas, don't you know how many times you have suffered the hellish conditions of life? Why are you so hesitant to reside in Vrindavan and enjoy the happiness of Brajakatha, Brajavasa Bhashana, Mahananda Dhaya, Manda Yasa. You Manda Samanda Mate, you fool, you stupid. You're a Manda, and you're a Manda, fool, stupid. Manda Samanda Matayo, Manda Bhagyu Padrata. You foolish Kali Yugite. You're a Manda, and you can experience Mahananda. A Manda can experience Mahananda. How? By Brajavas, Bhashana. Bhashana, language. Use your language, use your words to glorify Brajavas and live in Brajavas, live in Vrindavan. Then you will no longer be foolish. You will no longer suffer. Why are you hesitant to reside in Vrindavan? What is holding you back? Today or tomorrow, the great burden of this pot of stool will fall down and perish. Oh, fool! Attachment to women will lead to your destruction. How many hellish tortures, which cannot be borne for even a moment, are you forced to bear? It's fast. Why are you so slow to taste the transcendental bliss of living in Vrindavan? So here, Prabhupada Saraswati is encouraging all the fence sitters. There's a phrase, slang phrase, he's sitting on the fence. All the fence sitters, that the uncommitted people, they go to the dance party and sit down in a chair. And they watch everyone dancing. They're at the dance hall, they're at the dance floor, but they're not dancing. And people come and say, "What are you doing here? You're sitting here." "No, I don't want to dance." Then the person will say, "Then why you came here?" This is a dance hall. So just the fence sitters. Fence sitters means they're sitting on the fence. They're not making a decision. So many people are sitting on the fence to be or not to be, to live in Vrindavan or not to live in Vrindavan. That is the question. This is chapter 13, verse 65. We're still in the ocean, and there's still a lot. We haven't gotten through all these icebergs yet. A few more icebergs. We're almost there. We're almost in the shore of the Vamshivat. I can see the Kadamba trees and the banyan trees in the distance. We just have to keep going a little bit further in the ocean, devotion, and we'll land there, under that banyan tree at Vamshivat. Modhyam ma kuruma kuranga nainek shado krita sahasam samukyena sake nakela nikila gaseva kalahina sarvanart sarv anart nidanam artamapi no dehartam abhyartana klishe sinchinu nischintu citam yahavolasya vrindavane. Dear friend, don't act foolishly. Don't even dare to look at deer-eyed women. Do not play with the all-devouring snake of time anymore. That's definitely a good recommendation. It says the snake of time is called Kalasarp. And sometimes they look at people's charts and say they have Kalasarp yoga. You must have heard this. Kalasarp. Oh, Kala means time. The snake of time. It's like a python. The time factor is like a python, which has already swallowed everyone up to the knees. But everyone's so absorbed in their mental sphere of illusory enjoyment, they don't even realize that half third of their body is already inside the mouth of the python. Life is but a dream. Merrily, 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 row, row, row your boat gently down the stream. So he's saying, what are you doing? Playing with this all-devouring snake of time. Stop it. Throw it, put it down. Do not accumulate wealth, the root of all anarthas. Just maintain your body. Rather take the trouble of begging. Fix your mind to live steadily in Vrindavan. Don't be foolish. Don't become bold with this doe-eyed girl. Oh friend, don't play with this all-devouring black snake before you. Don't hanker either for the well-being of this material body or for the wealth that brings with it all that is unwanted. Consider the miseries of material life. Resolve to happily stay here in Vrindavan. So this is the point. Live in Vrindavan, and however, and whatever means you've been extended to you, stay in Vrindavan. And it appears that there's a connection between the doe-eyed girl and the snake. In this translation, don't become bold with this doe-eyed girl, because this doe-eyed girl is an all-devouring black snake standing before you. I think that's the idea he's trying to convey. In other words, you have a snake, you don't boldly and foolishly start picking up a cobra and start wrapping it around your neck. But a woman, the Maya form of woman or Maya form of man, is just like a snake. So they may have beautiful lotus eyes, be they man or woman, very attractive eyes and form. But actually standing before us is not our dream boat or our dream come true girlfriend or boyfriend or whatever. It's actually the poison snake black snake, even with her white face and golden complexion, actually a black snake, because one loses all his time when he is in association with Maya. One of Maya's features is the time factor. And for one when men associate with women, they forget time. But time doesn't forget them. Sweeps them right along. This is the problem. That this time, this Kala Sarp, that's why he's saying that this doe-eyed woman, don't be foolish. You want to play with this woman. We want to play with this woman. Well, that's like the proposal of playing with a black cobra. Because you play with a black cobra, that means death. He'll bite you. They don't like to play. They play for keeps. So this is the black cobra. So he's the black cobra, so the cobra itself represents the time factor. When people get bitten by a cobra and die in the village, they say that was the time. Time is up. The Kala Sarp, time comes and bites. So when one foolishly plays with the form of man or woman, then he's actually playing with the black snake of time, Kala Sarp. Bringing death very near, bringing death dangerously near, and more practically losing his time, precious time. So he said, don't accumulate wealth, just go beg. If you don't have any money, stay in Vrindavan and go beg. Go to Food for Life. If you have no money for food, just pay a rent and go every day and get free food at Food for Life. Many devotees do that. I know many Western devotees stay in Vrindavan, they got some little hole in the wall, and they come every day and they take the free khichdi. Free khichdi from Food for Life, or wherever they're giving out free food here and there. Because they'd rather be beggars in Vrindavan than work like dogs in some city in Russia, or Europe, or America, just to have some artificial lifestyle and satisfy their tongue. The satisfaction and fulfillment of living in Vrindavan doing bhajan far surpasses the satisfaction of the urges of the tongue. It's difficult to subdue the pushings of the tongue for varieties of pleasurable taste, like sweet and sour and pungent. Having khichdi every day at the free food place is austere. But after a while, one finds that when one starts to deny the body in preference to accenting the soul, then he finds that all of his bodily interests and multitudes of varieties of desires to enjoy the body, they start to evaporate. And he finds satisfaction with the simple things of devotion. The simple limbs of devotion give him the greatest satisfaction. So then very easily, because of the inner relish, pram dristva nivartate rasoham apsukanteya, rasovarjam rasopyasya pram dristva nivartate vishaya nivartante niharasya dehina. Because he's relishing ras, bhakti ras, then he automatically can adopt a lifestyle based on the principle of simple living and high thinking. This motto is there. We hear this term a lot when we come to ISKCON. Simple living and high thinking. But it's not possible to have high thinking and simple living unless there's rasovarjam rasopyasya. Pramjasva nivartate. Nivartan. He has to pramjasva nivartate. This is a very basic Bhagavad Gita verse. Second chapter, I believe. And it's saying that pramjasva nivartate, that one gets his darshan, dristva darshan. He gets his spiritual darshan, pramjasva nivartate. He doesn't come back, nivartan. He doesn't go back. He doesn't go back to the tasteless things of complicated living and low thinking. Complex living and low thinking. Most people are low or no. Let's say low thinking. They're thinking, but they're thinking low thoughts. Sex and money and booze and intoxication. Those are low. We call dirty or low thoughts. Low brow, low thoughts. But when the devotee takes up bhakti and denies his senses and eventually gets raso varjam, rasopyasya, pramjasva, he sees that higher reality and he has that experience, an actual taste of bhakti. And then he doesn't nivartan, he doesn't go back to vishayi, vinivartante, varieties of sense gratification. So therefore he'll stay in Vrindavan and beg. Fix your mind to live steadily in Vrindavan. Sanchinos nischinos stitam iha volasya Vrindavane. Another translation of this verse, we can see this is 1365. But it's a very nice points here. That was quite an iceberg, that one. Well, let's go to verse 87. Badum bandhu jana sadaiva yatate dusneya pasher mahamaya kapi vimohani shishu kalalapa striya sodatam goranartha niranam artam ahaha tvam vidyapartam paraswartam brahmshakaram taranya sakalam tyaktvai Vrindavanam. Friends always try to bind one with the ropes of false affection. That's the material world. Lots of sneha. Sneha is far away. Sneha means affection. Du means bad affection. Means do actually. Dushasan. You've heard of Dushasan? He's a bad guy. Sneha means bad affection means affection can't be bad. Affection is love, care, concern, appreciation, helping. Tender loving care is sneha, TLC. But sneha means the absence of that is bad. There's only affection means good, and if there's no affection, it's bad. This is badum bandhujana. Bandhujana means my friends my friends. They're actually binding me with all this false affection. And friends may come in the form of fathers, mothers, husbands, wives. Not just friends doesn't mean some guy you drive to work with in the car or play tennis with once in a while. But actually, these are the people we deal with all the time. They're posing as so-called friendly parties, but actually it's all false. The indistinct sweet sounds of children and enjoying the intimate association of women are certainly the snares of Maya. Alas! Consider wealth as a source of grave anarthas, and thus wealth is useless, and wealth destroys one's goal of life. People think that religion is meant for that, money. We do religion to get money. We worship Vaishnavi to get money. We go to Balaji to get money. We worship Venkateshwara to get money. We go to Ganesh, Bhagavan Ganesh, he's a type of Bhagavan, Lord, to get money. So dharma art, bas. Dharma art kam. So religion is only to get money and enjoy. Enjoy. But so that pursuit of wealth is useless and destroys it, because the goal of life is not art, money, and what it'll provide to the body. But the goal of life is don't get stuck in that snare. Go on. Pull your foot out of that trap and go on, or watch out for that trap. Most people never get out of the trap of money. Money, money, money. They become so blinded and so intoxicated by money that they start to worship money. And they have phrases like, money is God. Money is my God. I don't need any God. You foolish sentimentalists going to the church and temples. I have money. I can buy whatever I want. Really? Can you buy peace of mind? Can you buy fearlessness? You're so much afraid of the government and the dacoits and terrorists and getting calls from this one, that one. You're full of fear and always anxious and disturbed. And you're never really truly happy. But you have money. Therefore, give up everything else and simply surrender to Vrindavan. Tyaktvahi Vrindavanam. Anya Sakalam. Swartam Brahmsha Karam. All this Swartam Brahm, become bewildered. It makes you bewildered. Tadanya, don't have anything else. Everything, whatever you have. Tyaktva Turnamashesha Mandal Pati Srinim Sada Tuchavat. Bhutva Dina Ganeshako Krunyako Pina Kanta Shrito. Gopi Bhava Rasamritabdi Lahari. Kalola Magna Mohara. Vande Rupa Sanatano Ruigo Sri Jeev Gopalako. Tyaktva Turnamashesha Mandalapati. Mandalapati means surrounded by wealthy people. Mandala means a circle of wealthy. Pati means friends. You've heard of Lakshmipati? Lakshmipati means the Lord of wealth, Vaikuntanath. Das Goswami was in the Mandalapati. Tyaktva Turnamashesha Mandalapati Shrenim Sadat Tuchavat. Tuchavat. Tuchavat means Tuchavan. Van means possessing, having the quality of, possessing the quality of. Bhagavan means possessing the quality of bhagya, having so many bhagyas, beauty, wealth, strength, fame, renunciation, knowledge. And avat means Tuchavan, means possessing the quality of tuch. Tuch means insignificant, even sounds like that. Minuscule, insignificant, meaningless, trifling. Tuch. Tuchavat. Tyaktva Turnamashesha Mandala Pati Shrenim Sada Tuchavat. So this Tyaktva Turn, this Mandala Pati, this circle of wealthy people, Haranya and Govardhan, Majumara. They were the father and uncle of Raghunath Das. Their income every month was 1 million gold coins. 1 million gold coins. And each gold coin weighs about 50 grams. That's a lot of gold every month. 1 million times 50 grams. That's a 500,000 kilos, or whatever it is. Whatever, not that, but it's a lot. You can spin out your mind and try to figure out how much that is. And Rupa Goswami, he had boatloads of gold coins when he retired from the Muslim government. They had money, big time money. But they just strained him all that, they just tuchavat, insignificant. They threw it all away, all their gold jari embroidered coats and jackets and pants and puggaries and jewel-studded puggaries and staffs and bangles and rings and necklaces. They threw it all away because when Rupa Goswami was a minister, he wore all those things. You're not the minister, finance minister to the Muslim emperor, and you come to work in blue jeans and a t-shirt. They came in the finest silks and robes and necklaces and rings and everything. And then what do? Kopina Kanta, Ashrito. They took shelter of Kopina Kanta. Kopina is just you take some old dhoti and rip off some pieces, 2 pieces, and you have a door and kopin. A waist belt called door, and then the part around the private parts is called a kopin. And Kanta means you find some old chutters here and there all thrown out like garbage, and you cut off the bad pieces like you get old rotten fruit, and you cut off the bad piece and you get the good piece. So they cut off the good pieces here and there of some rejected chutters. It's called a quilt, patchwork quilt. That's the term we use. And they get a few pieces together. Then they go to some store, a shop, and they beg some old rice boris, or chini buri, some old bags of sugar from the grocers. And then they pull off the that jute. Those bags are made of jute threads, very coarse. They take that and use that to weave the pieces together. That's called a kanta. So that's what they wore in the winter, kanta. Sadguru Swami Vrindavan Dhama ki jai. Sri Rup Sanatan Bhatta Raghunath, Sri Jiva Gopala Bhatta Dasa Raghunath, Hey Chai Gosai Kori Chananan Vandan, Yohoite Vignash Abhishta Puran. Sadguru Swami's Vrindavan ki. So we read another translation. 1387. Friends and relatives, the relativities, will always try to bind you with ropes of misplaced affection. Maya will bewilder you with the sexual advances of a woman. Well, let's see the Sanskrit for that. Vimohani. Maya Kapi Vimohani. Mahamaya Kapi Vimohani. Yeah, that must be that phrase. Mahamaya Kapi Vimohani. Then, because the next one is Shishu Kala. Alap. Alap means talk. Like Prajapati, Alap. Kalap. So the clever artistic speaking of the Shishu. Actually, Sri Soratam. Soratam means sex union with women. That would be there. Know that, and the sweet, say, Maya will bewilder you with the sexual advances of a woman and the sweet talking of children. Know that money is both the cause of a host of troubles and a diversion from your real self-interest. Gora anarth. Gora means horrible, troubles. Niranam, artam. Give up everything and go to Vrindavan. Oftentimes everything that you try to give up, when you take shelter in Vrindavan, it comes at you twice as fast and twice as hard. You may come to Vrindavan and give up wealth, and all of a sudden you're living here and you find your wealth increases. I know that's happened many times. People come and they leave some business somewhere in Delhi or Bombay on hold, or they leave it with the brother, foreman or manager, and they take shelter of Vrindavan Bhajan. And while they're here, all of a sudden their profits go up like anything. Tremendously. Then they get tempted to go back to the city to enjoy, or the one gives up woman, and he comes to the Holy Dham, then woman comes knocking on his doorstep. Or he gives up man, she gives up man and tries to take shelter of Bhakti Bhajan in Vrindavan. And somehow she's plagued with the very thing she gave up. So the thing you try to give up often comes and attacks you in full force. Because Vrindavan is the ultimate testing ground. If one can pass the test in Vrindavan, then he passes out of the material world. Otherwise he may remain again in another lower life form, a pig or a monkey or a dog. This is verse 88, chapter 13. I can see through my periscope there's only about 6 more icebergs on the ocean of devotion, just ahead of our ship. If we can navigate successfully and Krishna conscious carefully through the ocean of devotion and not get knocked off by these icebergs, we'll arrive at the shore of Vamshivat. Yeah. And see Vamshidhari playing his flute under the full moonlight. 88. Hadyashvo vatvam marish yad buddhe kim te kanta putra vitari kuryat yavad deham sravato mrityurasti brattastava Vrindavanaya. Oh fools! Today or tomorrow you're destined to die. Then what will your wife and children do then? Oh brother, as long as you have got this body, you will continue to be afraid of death. Therefore, why are you not immediately rushing to Sri Vrindavan? Dava means to rush. Dava Vrindavanaya. Deham sarvato mrityurasti. Everywhere death is waiting to take the body. Kanta putra vitadi kuryan. Beginning with our lover, our wife and children. Tvam adyo shwo vatam marishi abude. Abude. Abude means stupid, no intelligence. We translate as, oh fools. Adya, today or tomorrow, Lord, you will die. We will all die. Pass off the scene. Fool! Today or tomorrow, you will die. What will your wife, children, and money do to save you then? Brother, now that death hems you in on all sides, you should run to Vrindavan. He's not giving much room to not surrender here. His proposal is quite drastic. Do or die. I have this phrase, do or die. He's literally telling us that. Do it or die. 89. Yoshit pinde kim na pashyas yananda. Pratyaksham yat prakshare chidrakebhya. Vratak kanta twak chamatkara matrad. Vrindaranyapi atyupeksho sihadik. Are you not blind? Anda? Have you not directly seen what comes out from the holes of a woman's body? Yoshit pinde, kimna pashyas. Yoshit pinde means the holes in a woman's body. Yoshit pinde kimba pashyati. Have you not seen? Oh, brata, oh brother, being captivated only by the external skin of a woman, you are neglecting to live in Vrindavan. Oh, hadik, hadik, hadik. Fie on you. Shame on you. Hadik, hanta, hanta, hadik, hadik. Oh, you who are not blind, why do you not see that the woman before you is simply a gruesome ball of flesh with a few oozing holes? Now, it's really become a little thicker now with this translation. A gruesome, I think it would be difficult to send this type of copy to the newspaper in Bombay to insert into their Bollywood news section. The latest movie star was a gruesome... The interviewer interviewed the latest movie star in Bollywood, and he wrote about her beauty, saying she was simply a gruesome ball of flesh with a few oozing holes. Brother, only because this pretty skin has filled you with wonder, do you now neglect the forest of Vrindavan? How pathetic you are. Ha dik, ha dik. That's a little more juicy translation, I would say. Text 94. This is kind of like AK-47 style. If you're not dead yet, you will be soon. Text 94. There's 3 more wonderful icebergs left. I don't know if we'll be able to discuss those today. Let's see. 94. Maha niraya niradim ridi nirupya nari vapur vilokya paramaparam param param upagaman samparam vibhavya janaranjanam harirasamata banjanam Vajo Parati Bhushana Paramadhama Vrindavanam. Paramadhama Vrindavanam. Very poetic, rhyming type verse. Vajo Parati Bhushana. Vajo Parati Bhushana Paramadhama Vrindavanam. Maha Niraya Niradim Ridi Nirupya Nari Vipur. Isn't it? So much this, that. Consider the body of women. Of course, this all is equal to consider the body of men also. Consider the body of women / or men as the ocean of grave hell. Consider obstacles and dangers as equal to the attainment of huge wealth. Consider pleasing materialistic people to be devastating the mellows of ecstatic love for Hari, and welcome detachment as your ornament. Sarubhushanam. In this way, live in Vrindavan. Bhajo Parati Bhushana, Paramadhama Vrindavanam. Knowing in your heart that the form of woman or man is an ocean of cruel hells, and seeing that wealth is a great misfortune, and aware that popularity breaks the sweet nectar of devotion for Lord Hari. Very interesting. Vilokya Paramapadam. That's what that means, Vilokya Paramapadam. So don't get carried away by the Facebook. Popularity. It's a type of intoxication. It's called pratishta. Lobha, puja, and pratishta. Lobha, puja, and pratishta. Greed, worship, and honor, distinction. Fame. They're very dangerous on the ocean of devotion. He's saying that be aware that popularity breaks the sweet nectar of devotion for Lord Hari. Hari Ras Atmata Bhanjanam. This is it. Vibhavya Jana Ranjanam. Enjoying the vibhav, the excessive feelings and sentiments of the people. Jana Ranjanam. Vibhavya Jana Ranjanam. Hari Rasatmata Bhanjanam. If you want Vibhav Jana Ranjanam, then your Hari Ras will be Bhanjanam. If you want to enjoy the Ranjan of the feelings of the people, the popularity, Vibhavya Jana means the popularity of the people, Vox Populi, then Hari Rasatmata Bhanjanam. Your Atmata, your mind and heart will not experience Hari Ras. It will be broken and taken away from your heart. And decorated with the ornament of renunciation, Bhajoparati. Please worship the supreme transcendental land of Vrindavan. Or just saying, Bhajoparati means that. Worship Bhushanam, the ornament. So we'll continue tomorrow. Vrindavan Mahimamrita ki jai, jai jai Shri Radhe. It's chapter 15, 1591. Stri Rupa Medya Pinde Muhur Amrita Diya Nitya Lolubhyamanam Chakshurnam Kudra Jiver Apivihita Mrisha Manan Atyanta Magna Jivamishta Nishta Viramati na Manag Vitasangrid Gridnu Chitam Habrindaranya Kanya Bhavati Mama Gatish Chedaham Twatstito Pi. Prabhupada Saraswati Pad says, my eyes repeatedly become attracted to the impure woman's body, thinking it to be nectar. I become fully maddened by receiving cheap adoration from insignificant living entities. My tongue is attached to tasting sweets. My heart is attached to wealth, and none of my senses ever become detached. Therefore, O Vrindavan, in spite of residing in your land, if in spite of residing in your land, I attain some other destination, what will I do? In other words, I'm living here, but my mind and senses are somewhere else. My mind is dwelling on Mahamaya woman or Mahamaya man, and my senses are simply dancing over the sense objects. I like sweets too much. We shouldn't like anything too much except Krishna. We should only like Krishna too much in Krishna's name. So people say, I like sweets too much. I can't live without sweets. They say all stupid things. Devotees. I remember in America, people say, we would say we're vegetarians, we're following these. I can't live without meat. How do you live? I can't live. Because they base their life on tamasic ras, tamo ras. Without that ras of dead flesh, I can't live. So the taste of milk is described in Nectar of Instruction as another kind of maya. It's called sattvic rasa maya. You're attached to the sattvic taste of milk. It's in the purport of Vachavegam, Manasakrodavegam. It's also considered an impediment, an obstacle in pure bhakti to be attached to sweets. Even maha sweets. Maha sweets means maha attachment. The word maha means big. It means you have a big attachment to sweets. Whether it's chocolate, Cadbury's chocolate, but now you somehow to the supreme austerity of giving that up. But then you're only able to give that up because you substituted that with 10 kilos of kheer and burfi and rubbery and other things. And then you try to use lots of carrot powder here and there to give you the faint remembrance of chocolate, just to keep your chocolate samskars alive. Can't dare to abandon carob. That would be like the last straw. Carob gives you some connection with that all-pervading blissful experience of chocolate. Of course, some devotee advocates say chocolate's fine, and there's always a chocolate debate amongst the Vaishnavas, to be or not to be, to indulge or not to indulge. The bottom line is, does Radharani make chocolate candy bars for Krishna? I never read anywhere. We can figure out everything to do the needful. If the needful is sense gratification, then we'll figure out how to do the needful. So he's saying that my heart is greedy for wealth, and I love to eat sweets, and I'm always thinking of women. And I'm living in Vrindavan? Hare. Kya hoga? Where? Kahan gaya? Where am I going? Where is my future? Vrindavan, I'm here, but what is this? I'm here, or where? Actually, where am I? Are you living in Radhakund or Narakund? Prabhupada said when he heard devotees were living here without authorization from Guru, or blessings or sanctions of Guru, and he said they're not living in Radhakund, they're living in Narakund. Narakund. They're not living in Radhakund, they're living in Narak. Narak means hell. That's a very heavy statement. Because without Guru's blessings, without Guru's sanction, this independent mood, this independent choice is the pathway to hell and rebirth. So they may think that we're living in this most exalted divine place of Sri Radhakund. But without connection to Guru, then it's dangerous, certainly. Braje Tishtan, Anuragi, Anugami, always be in association with devotees to be protected from the dictates of the mind and senses, ever ready to sweep one away. Thinking it is nectar, my eyes always lust after the foul lump of flesh that is a woman's body. I am drowning in pride for my little life. My tongue has not given up its love for sweet foods. That's why there's austerities. One austerity often told in these bratas, Kartik Minor Brat, Magh Minor Brat, Vaishak Minor Brat. Give up your favorite food article. And let's admit it. If you're a devotee of Krishna, what's Bala Gopal's favorite food article? Sweets. And he eats lots of sweets. And there's lots of Maha sweets. And what's the favorite food article? And what do they say? They say Brahmins like sweets. Often in America we give out candies or something and people say, many business. I don't eat sweets. Black coffee for me. No sugar. Black. All right. It's against the religious principles. Intoxication. No, in India it's like 3/4 a cup of milk, half a cup of sugar, and 2 teaspoons of coffee. That's what you call coffee in India. In America, I want it straight. Sir, would you like sugar or cream? No, straight, black. So you're black, and your coffee's black, and you'll stay black. So we drink milk, which is white, and we want to become white and pure in heart. Shukla. Now it's next chapter here. 16:9. This is the last 2 icebergs for this journey. Karna abhyarna sparshana shriti varnad. Apyutrashta sangha matra dvihasta. Sangha matra dvihasta. Nyastatmana Srila Vrindavane je kastan rada padangan na stutvita. Who will not glorify that most fortunate person who never hears the word woman, who becomes frightened just by hearing that word, who feels uneasy in the association of women, and who has fully surrendered himself to Vrindavan. So, in modern ordinary society, one would be considered a misfit or a weirdo or some kind of retarded person. If he runs away from women, they say, "Oh, is he weird, or is he becomes kind of queer or some crazy kind of perverted person?" He doesn't feel happy and joyful and giddy and laughy and enjoying himself and get all excited when he gets around women. He feels uneasy. If he hears the word woman, he becomes frightened. And such a person, he's worthy of glorification. Karna, Karna means ear actually. This Karna abhya. Abhya, he's afraid. He has fearful ears. Abhay charna. Abhay means he's Karna, ears, bhayam. His ears are full of sparshanam. Sri varna. Varna means sound, syllable, varna. Krishna varnam, Sri Krishna. The syllables, he came vibrating the syllables. Krishna, Krishna. That's Lord Chaitanya also. Means color, means syllables also. Krishna varnam, Sri Sa Krishna. He was not black, but he was not black, but he's always vibrating the syllables. Krishna, 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 hey. Krishna, 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 hey. Krishna, 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 Rakshamam. Krishna, 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 Pahimam. Rama Raghava, Rama Raghava, Rama Raghava, Rakshamam. Krishna Keshava, Krishna Keshava, Krishna Keshava, Pahimam. He's always the Krishna Varnam. Trisa Krishnam, Sango Pangashta Parshanam, Yagya Sankirtana Priya, Yajantihi Sameda Shaha. So Sri Varna, I don't even want to hear the sound, these syllables. Sri, huh? Who? Let me out of here. Karna Abhya, Sparsha. I'm afraid, Karna Bhayam Sparsha. I'm afraid I don't want my ears to touch that word. My ears? Oh, this lady came the other day. Oh, don't talk about this lady. This woman came and so, hey, Vishnu, Sri. I become frightened by hearing the word. Becomes uneasy in association. and who has fully surrendered himself to Vrindavan. Because Vrindavan is everything. Vrindavan is for the ears and heart and soul and everything. Vrindavan is the place that takes away fear. You take full shelter in Vrindavan, then. And you'll come to Vrindavan, you want to take full shelter and surrender yourself. Radhapad, Radhapadagan Stubita. I want to read this other translation. This is verse 9, 16. Who will not glorify they, who not allowing even the word woman to touch their ears, terrified of any contact with women, and offering their lives to Sri Vrindavan, will not stay at the feet of Radha. Now that makes more sense. That's what it says. It says Radhapad. Radhapad means Nastuvita. Fully surrendered himself to Vrindavan. Srila Vrindavan ye kastan Radhapadagan. Astutva. Nyas Atmana. So this is the Radhapad. Sri Vrindavan. What makes Vrindavan Sri or Srila? Srila means opulence, wealth, value, fortune, beauty. All these things are contained in the word Srila. So this is a beautiful adjective to describe Vrindavan, because Vrindavan is full of wealth, opulence, beauty, and attraction. Srila Vrindavan, eh? In this beautiful Vrindavan, which is opulent, wealthy, and attractive, then who will not take shelter of Radhapad, shelter of Radharani? So merciful, so kind, so beautiful, so merciful. There's one other verse we can finish and try to bring our boat into the harbor. Finally, the safe shore of the spiritual world. This is the last iceberg on the ocean of devotion. At least, as I said, for this journey across the Atlantic. The next time we go, we may find more icebergs. What, that may be a different captain. 97. Page 590. 1697. Another one of these kada, kada, when. So many whens. Everything is when. Future. Future is bright. Kada yamo damadaro paramo kamotsava vanam pavamo vamoru pramukha vishayamoha manasa dayamo nachaya dayamo shachaya patam abhinoyamo vanafala dibi kalam namojvala ridi bhajamo rasanidhi. When will I visit Sri Krishna's supreme forest of conjugal pastimes? Parama kamotsava vanam. How we say Malayaja, that which is born from the Malayan mountains. It means sandalwood. Kamutsava Vanam, Kam Utsav, the festival of Kam, the festival of Sringara Ras, Kamanuga Bhakti of the Brijvasis, the Gopis, especially means the Gopis, and Krishna Gopinath. Kamatmika. That festival, that great festival, that forest. This is Vrindavan. Vrindavan is Kamotsava Vanam. It is not the forest of the great festival, the illusory form of lust or Cupid, but it's the forest of the great festival, Krishna and the Gopis' beautiful intimate pastimes and divine love. Damodar. Yamo Damodar. When will my mind, kada, become detached from mundane sense gratification, like the sense gratification of enjoying beautiful women? Vishaya moha manasa pramukha vamoru. Vamoru. Bhavamu vamoru pramukha vishaya moha manasa. My mind is... when will my mind stop becoming bewildered by the sense objects, especially or chiefly the vamoru, bhavamu vamoru? That means woman. Pramukha means chiefly or primarily. When will I give up sinful life and maintain my life by eating fruits and roots? Vanafal. Vanafal means fruits of the forest. And when will I worship the divine young couple who are oceans of ecstatic love in order to joyfully chant their holy names. When will I worship them, the divine couple? Namojvala. Kalam Namojvala Divi. Riddhi Bhajamo, I will worship Rasanidhi. Their oceans of ecstatic love. Rasanidhi, ocean of ecstatic loving mellows. So there, he has on one side, his mind is still attached to the mundane sense gratification of enjoying beautiful women. At the same time, he's come to this Rasastali Vrindavan, and he's thinking there's so much ocean of ras here. I want to swim in that. I don't want to get knocked off by this iceberg. I'll live here simply. I don't come here to live with high demand. Mozzarella cheese melted on my pizza. And all kinds of ecstatic, elaborate sense gratification. I'll eat some simple vanafal, some guava, some bear fruits, whatever I can find here and there. In other words, the idea is now there's no forest and there's no fruits to be found. And if you want one, you have to pay a lot of money, 10 rupees for one piece of fruit. But the idea he's trying to say is, what's the principle here? To live very simply in Vrindavan. To wander around the forest and pick a fruit off the tree is not the same as having a MVT pizza for lunch. Well, let's go to MVT for pizza. Yeah, okay. We did that yesterday. Let's go to Govinda's and let's eat Italian over there in Govinda's. Okay, let's go to Gopal's restaurant and get some Indian stuff, rice dal chapati. Oh yeah, that's so square. That's not one. So chase the tongue wherever it takes you. It's not the idea of Vrindavan. Live on Vanafal. Chayapatam. The other translation, when will we go to the forest where Lord Damodar celebrates a great festival of transcendental amorous pastimes? Kada yamo. Yamo means to go. We say antaryami. You've heard this term? Antar means inside. Yami means to move. That form of Bhagavan which moved in the heart is called antaryami. Yamo yami. It doesn't mean Yamaraj. As Yamaraj, whatever. Yamo. We have a prayer like that to Lord Nrsingadev. Ito Nrsinho Parat. Ito Yami Tato Nrsinho. I want to see you inside, outside, wherever I go. So Kada, when will I go to that place where Damodar is engaged in these wonderful pastimes? And this festival, Kamotsava Vanam, of transcendental amorous pastimes. When will our hearts become charmed by the sight of the beautiful gopis? Yes. That's interesting. Twist on it. Moha Manasa. Let's see what else he said.
Jayo Prabhupada, Jayo Prabhupada, Prabhupada. Krishna Krishna Bhakti Dhira Swami Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama. Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare Ram Rama Rama Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare Ram Hare Krishna Hare Ram, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Bhakta Vatsala Sri Gaura Hari. Bhaja Bhakta Vatsala Sri Gaura Hari. Bhaja Bhakta Vatsala Sri Gaura Hari. Bhaja Bhakta Vatsala Sri Gaura Hari. Sri Gaura Hari Sahi Gosta Bihari. Gaura Hari Sahi Gosta Bihari. Nanda Jasomati Chita Hari. Nanda Jasomati Chita Hari. Bela Holo Damodara Aisha Ekana. Bela Holo Damodara Aisha Ekana. Bhoga Mandire Bashi Karaha Bojana. Bhoga Mandire Bashi Karaha Bojana. Nandirani Deshi Bashi Giri Baradari. Nandirani Deshi Bashi Giri Baradari. Baladeva Saha Saka Baise Sari Sari. Baladeva Saha Saka Baise Sari Sari. Shukta Shakhari Vaji Nalita Kushmanda. Shukta Shakhari Vaji Nalita Kushmanda. Dalidana Dugda Tumi Dadi Mocha Kanda. Dalidana Dugda Tumi Dadi Mocha Kanda. Muda Bora Mash Bora Rotika Gritana. Muda Bora Mash Bora Rotika Gritana. Shaskuli Pistaka Kir Puli Payasana. Shaskuli Pistaka Kir Puli Payasana. Kapura Amrita Keli Rama Kira Shara. Kapura Amrita Keli Rama Kira Shara. Amrita Rasalama Dwadasha Pakora. Amrita Rasalayama Dwadasha Prakara. Luci Sini Sarpuri Ladura Sabali. Luci Sini Sarpuri Ladura Sabali. Bhojana Korena Krishna Hoye Kutuhali. Bhojana Korena Krishna Hoye Kutuhali. Radhikara Pakayana Bibida Byanjana. Radhikara Pakayana Bibida Byanjana. Paramayanande Krishna Korena Bhojana. Paramayanande Krishna Korena Bhojana. Shale Bale Ladu Khai Srimadu Mangala. Shale Bale Ladu Khai Srimadu Mangala. Bagala Bajayara Deya Hari Bolo. Bagala Bajayara Deya Hari Bolo. Radhikari Gani Heri Nayane Rakone. Radhikari Gani Heri Nayane Rakone. Tripta Hoye Khai Krishna Jasoda Bhavane. Tripta Hoye Khai Krishna Jasoda Bhavane. Bhojanande Priye Krishna Subhasita Bari. Bhojanande Priye Krishna Subhasita Bari. Sabe Mukha Prakaloy Hare Sari Sari. Sabe Mukha Prakaloy Hare Sari Sari. Astamukha Prakaliya Jata Sakagane. Astamukha Prakaliya Jata Sakagane. Anande Vishama Kore Baladeva Sane. Anande Vishama Kore Baladeva Sane. Jambula Rasalane Kambula Masala. Jambula Rasalane Kambula Masala. Tahake Krishna Chandra Sukhe Nidragela. Tahake Krishna Chandra Sukhe Nidragela. Vishalaka Shiki Pucha Chamara Dulaya. Vishalaka Shiki Pucha Chamara Dulaya. Apurva Sayaya Krishna Sukhe Nidrayaya. Apurva Sayaya Krishna Sukhe Nidrayaya. Yasomati Anga Priye Danishtaya Nito. Yasomati Anga Priye Danishtaya Nito. Sri Krishna Prasad Radha Gunje Hoye Prito. Sri Krishna Prasad Radha Gunje Hoye Prito. Lalitari सखी गण अवशेष पाया
ललितादि सखी गण अवशेष पाया
मने मने सुखे राधा कृष्ण गुण गाया
मने मने सुखे राधा कृष्ण गुण गाया
हरि लीला एकमात्र जहार प्रमोद
हरि लीला एकमात्र जहार प्रमोद
भोगारती गाय ठाकुर भक्ति विनोद
भोगारती गाय ठाकुर भक्ति विनोद
भक्त वत्सल श्री गौर हरि
भज भक्त वत्सल श्री गौर हरि
भज भक्त वत्सल श्री गौर हरि
भज भक्त वत्सल श्री गौर हरि
श्री गौर हरि सहि गोष्ठ बिहारी
श्री गौर हरि सहि गोस बिहारी
श्री गौर हरि सहि गोष्ठ बिहारी
श्री गौर हरि सहि गोस बिहारी
नंद जसोमती चित हरि
नंद जसोमती चित हरि
नंद जसोमती चित हरि
नंद जसोमती चित हरि
भज गोविंद गोविंद गोपाला
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 Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shivashanto Bhakti Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shivashanto Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shivashanto Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Jaya Radhe Jai Radhe Jai Shri Radhe. Jai Radhe Jai Radhe Radhe. Jai Radhe Jai Shri Radhe. Jai Krishna, Jai Krishna, Krishna. Jai Krishna, Jai Shri Krishna. Jai Krishna, Jai Krishna, Krishna. Jai Krishna, Jai Shri Krishna. Jai Radhe, Jai Radhe, Jai Shri Radhe.
go to Ramnaki Radha. Remember her? Ramnaki Radha, she's there in Bible. To guide you. Yes, Ramnaki Radha is just opposite her room. Just go to her. Go to her. Tell her that I asked you to come to her. She can take you around, show you places with your friends. To guide you, to protect you there. Yes, Ramnaki Radha is just opposite the Idam. Same building. Yes, go to her. Help you take you to places you have been and many enjoy yourself. Yes, I'm going to meet you now. Yeah. Wait for Guru Puja. See you later.